I've talked about my big gainers right now. ChargePoint's at the top of that list. I mean, Clover aside, ChargePoint's at the top of the list.
Yeah.
43%. I have stops set on everything. I'm in the green now. I have almost 50% cash on hand. I spent a little bit, so I'm about, I think, 45% cash on hand. But two stocks, interestingly enough, Palantir's kicking ass for me as well, almost 40%. But two that have also been sleepers that we haven't talked about is Square and AMD. And I want to start with Square just to get it out of the way. And the question regarding Square, or the thought regarding Square, because I got in almost like on the move up, so I waited for confirmation, but fairly early. I've been in since like June 10th, and I am up 16%, which I'm incredibly happy with. I think it's coming on around a key resistance, which could hopefully it'll break through and act as a support. But I feel really bullish on Square, and I'm asking you because you're more bullish on Square than I am. I'm a PayPal guy, but I just thought there was a great technical play there. It's played out for me.
Yeah.
Do you attribute that to Bitcoin and crypto coming back as a whole, or is there something else?
Yeah, so I think it's a multiple of things. I think it's crypto starting to come back. I mean, Bitcoin has done extremely well from its lows. I think it hit 35,000, 36,000 a day. So that's doing really well, and that has always kind of influenced the movement of Square. But we've talked about this, bro, like the hybrid nature of Square being that it is a tech stock and it gets treated that way, but it's also a reopening play because of how much it's going to benefit from businesses opening back up and it having its point of sale benefits there. So like, I think that this is like a perfect stock that touches all the facets here. And yeah, I agree. I think it's just a multitude of things right along there with like a PayPal and such. So yeah, I still love this stock, and I think
how much higher can it go?
That 262 mark that, you guys see, I have a resistance line marked here, and that might have been what you were alluding to as well. I think that's probably going to be a very pivotal moment for Square from a technical standpoint, because if it breaks up over that, I don't know if there's much stopping it at 280, and that'll be a huge point for Square.
So that's Square. Staying in and have no intention of getting out of it.
Yeah.
AMD, though, is an interesting one.
Bro, what a monster.
I got in that from a technical perspective as well, and it's been doing really well for me. So my average is, I got in at 76.99.
Yeah.
Up 16% on it. And the interesting thing behind AMD is we've seen NVIDIA on this massive run.
Yeah.
And which is the competitor AMD. We think NVIDIA is number one, AMD is a close second.
Yes.
And it's had this massive run, and I just kind of chalked it up to stock split announcement, a little bit of their mining chips that they announced, so like a little bit of the crypto boom as well. And additionally, the positive news around the ARM acquisition, and not for once did I consider maybe semiconductors as a whole are coming into favor. And so I was a little bit worried about NVIDIA getting in a little too hot. But now AMD is moving and looks like it's breaking out.
Yes.
Is this a semiconductor thing? Like, we should be bullish overall on whatever our famous chip company is? Our favorite chip company is?
It's like we've talked about. We talked about this just last week. I mean, and AMD's been moving for the last 2 weeks, but we talked about this just last week about the chip shortage. The worst of it could be very well behind us. And so people have now fallen back into favor with all of the chip makers. I haven't looked at Intel recently, but I'm sure that's probably doing well too. So this could very well be the very early stages of a monster bull run. And even though the AMD has done really well, I still think NVIDIA is too hot. Intel started to make some moves here, nothing crazy, but that's also kind of at the back of the pack at this point. I still think that Intel still has room to potentially start to gain some more, close the gap, so to speak, against its other competitors. But either way, I think this definitely could be the early stages of a monster bull run for some of the chip makers. Demand is crazy right now.
Yeah, and Waqar, thanks for the information. I was unaware of this. He said that AMD has had approval by the UK for the X-Links merger.
Yes.
which causes it to go up. I did not know that.
Yeah, that was today's news. Yeah.
I've just been in it, so I didn't even realize it. I probably should have checked the news on that.
That's all good.
So we'll see. And man, the tough thing about NVIDIA, I want to remind people, don't discount the ARM acquisition being complete. That to me is the big catalyst I'm looking for.
Oh, it's going to be huge.
And like I said, I hope it happens after the stock split. I want the stock split to happen. I think it's going to go down.
Yep.
And then I want to get in and I want to ride the news for when the ARM acquisition goes through, because I am confident that's going to go through.